Alright, what is up guys, it is Robert of Gaming with Me, and welcome to another video talking about 2020 video games. Last month, I just did my GWM Awards, the top 10 greatest games of 2020, and yeah, I talked about those 10 games, but I played a lot of games throughout that year, and I thought I'd talk about more games. Stuff that I thought was also really good, just games that stuck out with me. It's going to be more of a casual, non-scripted, let's just talk about some games because there were a lot of them in every year, and I want to actually appreciate some other ones that I played. And then maybe you could tell me some that I probably maybe missed, or maybe you just thought were, and you enjoyed a lot, that you thought were better. Before that though, check out this graph. Look at all those people that are watching this and are not subscribed. Go click that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. What's wrong with you? Anyway, as for games that you don't necessarily beat, I gotta shout out Fall Guys and Dreams. I really enjoy Fall Guys a lot. I played a decent amount of it, probably a good 20-something hours of it, and I really had a ton of fun with it, and it's one that I would like to continue playing. Multiplayer games for me are always tough. I enjoy playing multiplayer games, but like they're never ending. You can play that to the end of time, and I really enjoy it's the best battle royale to me. It's like a platformer battle royale. Cool. You got these little bean characters and you're doing these crazy obstacle courses, which is always a blast. I love obstacle course games in general, and so to have it like a battle royale style was always super damn cool to me, and I enjoyed it a ton, and it's one that I will continue to come back to every so often. Again, I always say I wish I could clone myself. One clone would play multiplayer games, one would play single player games, and it would be great. But unfortunately, I'm not that, and so I prioritize very much single player games. Dreams is another one, like I was saying, that I beat the Arch Dream or whatever, which is Media Molecule's own Dream, which is really good. But Dreams in general is just an awesome game that easy could have made my top 10, but it just didn't. It's probably top 15 or something, I don't know. But I love seeing everyone's creations. The things that you can make on Dreams is insane. It's insane. It's incredible. And it's endless literally endless. Like you could make full-on games in this game. It's unbelievable. It's its own engine, essentially. It's incredible. And the things I've streamed that game so many times, and I love seeing what people make with it, and it's cool. Media Molecule's own thing is also really good. It's just something that you gotta see to believe, and I would recommend, if you have PS4, PS5, do pick up Dreams just to support Media Molecule, I feel. And it's absolutely insane creation that they made. It's really damn great. It was on my top 10 for quite a while, but it didn't quite make it by the end. And as for games that I actually beat, I probably beat a good 45. I think it's like 40 something games that came out in 2020. So it was a ton, and so to narrow it down to 10 is tough. It's really tough. Astro's Playroom is a game that came out 2020, very end, where it launched on PS5, and I was looking forward to playing that. When I saw it actually get revealed in the trailer during I believe it was a State of Player presentation, whatever it was. Regardless, I was super excited, and I was happily going to pay money for it, but instead it came bundled with the PS5. It's literally installed on every PS5. I'm like, dope. I don't have to pay for it. It just comes with the thing, and it's awesome. I love it. It's the first game I ever platinumed. It's not a long thing to platinum, but length doesn't mean much when you're good quality, and I really enjoyed it a lot. The music, I just really enjoy that a lot. It's a great game personally to me, and it was actually also, I had it on my top 10 list for a little bit. To be fair, I think that was early on. I played that when I got the PS5, and I didn't really start playing 2020 games till around that time, so it was probably on an early-ish list. But regardless, it was on the list at one point, and I really enjoyed it a lot. I played through it, and I even would go back to it sometimes and just play a level, man. It's a great showcase of the DualSense, but it's also just a very fun platformer to me. Again, the different environments, visually stunning, obviously, but I love the whole analog triggers and the different abilities that you actually get, the different costumes you get, I guess you could say, where you're like rock climbing, and then it clicks in the triggers. It's just super cool. It's something you gotta play to believe, to understand. I think it's awesome. and I think Astrobot's a really cool character, and they got to do more with him. Are in the Secret of Seasons is a game that no one's going to talk about, but you should check out. It's like kind of like a Legend of Zelda game. It's an indie game that was really fun, really damn good, and I was surprised. Cutscene wise was really impressive. It's animated really well to the point I was like, damn, I didn't even think this was like indie game status. There's clearly some very talented people there, and overall the dungeons were really well designed, and the world was really cool. It's a really solid game, and it's one that I would definitely recommend that should be you should check out. And if you notice on my 2020 list, there are indie games in there. You know, there's smaller tier games. To me, it just doesn't cross my mind. While I say it's smaller, just so people can understand, there's no difference between an Ori and the Secret Seasons and a massive open world game like, I don't know, Skyrim to me or something. You know, there's no difference. It's just, is it a good game? Cool. Is it a bad game? Cool. You know, and indie games are just, or there's independent studios making games. You know, so that's why to me, I don't look at them differently. They're just good games. If they're good games, they're good games. Which goes into my next game, I Am Dead. I Am Dead was one of the most interesting games that I played of 2020 that I kind of stuck with me, man. Like, I kept thinking about that game, and also one that I totally recommend. It's a really awesome art style, really beautiful art style where you play as someone that is dead. I'm dead. I am dead, and the main character realizes that. And I Am Dead, you're like finding things within things. So you're literally taking the camera and going inside of objects and finding different things. It's kind of hard to describe in terms of that, but it's a really creative game with an awesome story, some really well done voice acting, beautiful art style, and something that will stick with you for a while. It's an impactful game in terms of death and grief and all that. And it's really well done. It's one that I totally recommend. That's another one that I know for sure is overlooked as hell. I Am Dead. Go check that one out for sure. Another overlooked game. I guess a lot of these are going to be overlooked because they're, you know, smaller games in terms of, you know, searches on Google and stuff. And in terms of trailers and what people know or not. And that's Amnesia Rebirth. I thought this would be actually bigger because it's based off Amnesia, you know, The Dark Descent. It's a sequel. But Amnesia Rebirth is an awesome horror game, and one that also is like close to my 2020 list. It just didn't quite make it. Really intense game, man. Awesome horror game to me. I thought it was legit really damn great. There is one of the most intense moments in gaming for me where you're in this maze, and there's like this thing behind you, and he's following you, trying to chase you down in a maze. What the fuck? That is intense. You're trying to find your way while someone's trying to find you. It is intense, and I was literally stiff as hell sitting in my chair playing this game. It was quite an experience, and it's one that will stand out with me forever in terms of an intense horror game experience. That was awesome. Not only that, you played as a pregnant woman. And I don't know the last game that I played as a pregnant woman that you look at your baby and you like rub your belly and stuff. I'm like, damn, it's different. It's very different. And that was cool. That was very cool. I love me some platformers, so I gotta give a shout out to Sackboy, A Big Adventure. I really enjoyed Sackboy Big Adventure. It's a fun 3D platformer. It's in the realm of kind of 3D World-esque, Super Mario 3D World-esque, and I just had a blast with it. Especially there's the time trials mode, which I really try to get really into, and I feel like I put some decent scores in there. I don't think it's nothing super high, but I did pretty damn good with them, and I enjoyed playing through the game. It's just a really solid platformer that I had a lot of fun with, man. It's one of my favorite games on PS5 for sure. It's maybe in terms of Sony games, it's probably, you know. Well, I haven't played a ton. I guess they haven't released a ton, right? But it's up there. Top 3? Maybe? I guess it would have to be. Since we're talking about the PS5 launch, I gotta give a shout out to Spider-Man Miles Morales. I did not expect to like the game as much as I did because I thought the first one was okay. And while this isn't a sequel, it's not Spider-Man 2, it's Spider-Man 1.5, I guess. It's a side story, it's a side story for just Miles Morales, but it is hands down way better than the original Spider-Man. I enjoyed Miles Morales a lot. Like, I had a lot of fun with Miles Morales to the point where it was close to getting on my 2020 list. Not even gonna lie, I enjoyed it a ton, and I think I would highly recommend anyone that maybe thought the original Spider-Man was a little underwhelming. If you didn't like the MJ missions and the Miles Morales missions of sneaking around, this is strictly just you're playing as Spider-Man with better combat. It's really good. That's all it is. It's really damn good. Not only that, but it's much more condensed. It's about, I think, 8 hours or so compared to 15 or 16 of Spider-Man, the original. And with that, they pace it really well. It's nice and tight, and that's what you need in the game. Good pacing, and this game was paced really well. And then these final two games are actually like the last two games I played in 2020 that I truly, essentially wanted to put on my 2020 top list. I really wanted to, but I couldn't. I had to make some decisions, and maybe if you asked me again right now, I would maybe switch the list by 1 or 2 with these games. It was genuinely a tie between this Doom Eternal, Spiritfarer, and these two games, which is Cyberpunk 2077 and Bugsnax. Cyberpunk 2077, man, I thought was awesome. I really enjoyed this game, but for the simple fact of how the launch was and how everything was handled, I just didn't want to quite put it in that spotlight of like a number 10 or 9 spot, and so I just didn't have it there. Admittedly, that was like the big reason. I'm like, I could highlight Spiritfarer or Doom Eternal more. I'll highlight those. I'll give them the edge. But I do think Cyberpunk 2077 is worthy of a top 10 spot of 2020. I enjoyed the game so much. I even played a lot of the side quests, and I still have the game installed on my PC, which I normally, once I finish a game, I just uninstall it. But I still have it installed because I want to play more of it. In 2022, a year and a half later, I really do. I want to play a lot more of it. I think it's a really damn good game. Although I say a year and a half, I think I only played it about 9 months ago or something. So it'd be about nine months or something like that. So I really want to continue playing that game. There's a lot more side quests I still want to do. The story's awesome. The characters are great. I really enjoy just being around the city, driving around the city, doing some missions, taking out guys, shooting around. It's definitely a game that will stick with me for quite some time, and I didn't want to put it down. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought there were lots of good twists and turns in the story, and the gameplay itself is just really fun. The gameplay loop is addicting to me. I took a million screenshots, visually stunning. I just had a lot of fun in Night City, man, and I look forward to continue playing more with side quests. And the last one that I said for sure were like on bordering on my top 10 list, and that is Bugsnax. Man, I remember when Bugsnax was first revealed and people clowned on it, and I'm like, that game's gonna be good. They're not showing this just because it's gonna be some wacky meme game. It's gonna be fucking good. Like, you could tell what games are gonna look good when they show these trailers, and people are like, oh, it's gonna be trap hard memeing on it, and you look at it like, this is an artsy game that looks like it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And it was fucking good. It's great. I really enjoy Bugsnax a ton. It's super unique. This whole bug catching style, trying to figure out how to catch these creatures that are made out of snacks, and they're bugs, and they'll literally go boom, 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 and they actually say, like Pokemon, they say their names over and over again. It's super funny. The characters are surprisingly really well done. Like, the story in general is really good. I would have never expected Bugsnax's story to be really good, but the story itself was really good. Not only was the gameplay loop addicting and fun, but the story was really good. The world was really interesting, and having to literally go, it's kind of open world where you go into these different sections, and then you're just, collecting these Bugsnax. It's really fun, like really fucking fun. And not only that, but it has the best soundtrack of 2020. Like, it is, to me, the best gaming soundtrack of 2020, which really propels the game. But I listen to that soundtrack still to this day. I will put it on Spotify or whatever, and I will listen to it in my car and blast it in my car. It's a really, really catchy soundtrack. I was super conflicted on where I would put this on the list, and I really wanted to. And again, I could easily switch it out with some games, but I was like, you know what? Let me just. I'm not. I probably would now. I don't know. It's tough to put 40 something games, squeeze it down to 10. But something like Doom Eternal is one of the best first-person shooters I ever played. Spiritfarer was just purely amazing. It's so tough. It really is so tough. But Bugsnax also is one that I highly, highly recommend. You got to be into just some quirky games, and this was a very quirky, unique game that is gonna stick with me forever. It's very unique in its bug catching ways. Like, you have these different contraptions to make traps to capture these Bugsnax. It's just very different and very cool, and I highly recommend Bugsnax. It's really good. Alone, just listen to the soundtrack, to be honest. If you don't even care about it, the soundtrack's really good. Definitely recommend it. It's coming out now to Nintendo Switch and I believe Xbox and stuff. Go play it there. Play it on your PC, play whatever. But I played it on PS5, and damn, was it good. Loved it. That was 2020 games I also really enjoyed. There's other ones I could talk about, like Super Meat Boy Forever, which is really good. There's a lot of games again that I played that I was like, damn, that's really, really good. I really enjoyed that a lot. But these are the ones that kind of still stand out to me, to this day. 8-9 months later, that I'm like, yeah, no, these were really damn good, and they were up there, somewhere up there. Yeah, I mean, look at this list. I could definitely talk about even more, but we're gonna be here all day. I'll give you, that's another 8-9 games or whatever that I thought were also maybe close to the top 10 of 2020. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know some other 2020 games that you played or might have missed, or maybe that I missed that I should check out. There's a good chance that you're going to name some games that I haven't played. Not a good chance, there will be a chance, because of course there's going to be smaller indie games that are even small that I name that I'm not going to know. But in terms of like the big budget AAA stuff, I played a large, decent majority of them. And as for 2021 games, I am halfway through the year. So essentially, yeah, I'm like a year. So give it another 6 to 7 months and you'll probably get another GWM 2021 top 10 of 2021 games in 2023, I suppose. And then I guess that's just how it's going to be. It'll be 2022, I released 2020, 2023, I released 2021. Not a big deal to me in the slightest. I'm just enjoying games and having fun with them. And there's been a lot for 2021 already that's really good. But I know the best is yet to come. And there's so many more. I mean, I'm not even going to say the number, because you're going to be like, why the fuck are you playing this many games? There's so many that I want to play. So many. It's way bigger than 2020 even, and I've already done a good dent into there, so I'm looking forward to playing some more, which I'm going to do right after this. And there I go, rambling on. That's the great thing about games, man. You can ramble on all the time about games. Man, yeah, I really want to start talking about other games now. Let me not. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.
Everyone wanna see spitting. Do I got the winning lottery ticket? Clock is a ticket, may not be pippin'. Also trying not to be breaking like Clyde. I also try breaking my limit, not timid, but I know my time is finite. I'm just striving to get under that limelight. Is it a fantasy that has some fans and seats? Busy your life by trying to make my name a headlining shows across the country. No